Good morning. Morning, Lynn. Band sounds great this morning. I was listening for Paula's voice. I was forgetting she wasn't here, which is why I'll be up here a lot. Wishful thinking, maybe.
You look a lot like Paula.
Yeah. I don't know. That might not say much for Paula then. All right. So I'm glad you all are here. Last week we were able to come together because we had nasty weather, and I'm glad anybody is looking at us online as well. So welcome to everybody. And I hope last week you were able to enjoy that snow. I know it was cold and icy, but maybe you were sipping some hot chocolate and looking out the window and just taking it all in, because snow is an amazing thing, and I don't think we get to see it as much as we used to. I do want to remind folks, if you're new to Jubilee, we do have restrooms in the back, what my grandmother would probably call the narthex, but I would call a vestibule. And there's also bathrooms on the lower level. And afterwards, we do have coffee hour in the 6th grade classroom. This quarter, we're in the Via Creativa, and our theme for this quarter is arising overall. So all of our topics each week will be arising with something. Today we're arising with justice, and we're quite honored to have DeBorah Ogiste, who will be sharing a reflection on that theme with us today. And I think it's a very appropriate topic this weekend because across the country, we are celebrating the life and work of Dr. Martin Luther King. And that celebration actually culminates on Monday with the federal holiday in his honor. And this holiday was first proposed shortly after his assassination. And then in the 1980s, both of our North Carolina senators tried to lead the opposition against it. Some of you probably remember Senator Jesse Helms. You might remember John East as well. And they tried to stop it. Senator Helms filibustered the bill on the floor for a long time in 1983, claiming that Dr. King was communist and pro-Marxist, and he was against the Vietnam War. And those are all great things, in my opinion. But finally, it did pass, and then President Reagan, somewhat reluctantly, signed it into law. Reagan was concerned that it would cost the taxpayers too much money to give the federal workers another day off. So this year, that holiday happens to coincide with our presidential inauguration, which might seem a little incongruous to most of us. But I want us to kind of settle into sacred space here and remember that Dr. King was a visionary who dreamed of a better world for his children and all the generations to follow. And he was quoted saying, "The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice." So keep that in mind tomorrow. And like Dr. King, children are dreamers and visionaries, and they often have this innate and very clear sense of justice. And if you've ever played games with them, they're really concerned about the rules. And I have a passage I want to share with you from an environmental scientist who was also an early pioneer in systems dynamics and thinking, Donella Meadows. If you're a real geek, you might have read something like Limits to Growth, which she co-authored. And she said, "Children are natural visionaries. They can tell you clearly and firmly what the world should be like. There should be no war, no pollution, no cruelty, no starving children. There should be music, fun, beauty, and lots of nature. People should be trustworthy, and grown-ups should not work so hard. It's fine to have nice things, but it's more important to have love. And inside all of us," well, somewhere I lost my next page. "If the world hasn't beaten us up too badly, we still have that child inside, and we are full of those loving visions." All right. So, now we're going to sing in the divine, if I remember this correctly.
In the bowl there is a flower, in the seed an apple tree, in the groove a hidden promise, butterflies will soon be free. In the cold and snow of winter there's a spring that waits to be unrevealed until its season the divine alone can see. There's There's a song in every silence, word and melody. There's a true dawn in every darkness, bringing hope to you and me. From the past will come the future, what holds a mystery, unrevealed until its season, but divine alone can see. In our end is our beginning, in our time infinity. In our doubt there is believing, in our life eternity. In our death a resurrection, at last a victory, unrevealed until its season, undefiled can see.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, so Yona's not here today, so I'm going to call the directions. I invite all of you to turn to the east. Winds of the east, spirits of the east, angels and ancestors and allies of the east. Archangel Raphael, the healer, the element of air, thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you, we honor you, and we bless you, and we ask that you bless us. A quarter turn to the south. Winds of the south, spirits of the south, angels and allies and ancestors of the south. Archangel Michael, the protector, and the element of fire. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you, we honor you, and we bless you. And we ask that you bless us. A quarter turn to the west. Winds of the west, spirits of the west, angels and allies and ancestors of the west. Archangel Gabriel, the messenger, thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you, we honor you, and we bless you. And we ask that you bless us. Quarter turn to the north. Winds of the north, spirits of the north, angels and allies and ancestors of the north. Archangel Uriel, the wisdom giver, the element of earth, thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you, we honor you, and we bless you. And we ask that you bless us. Father, Son, Mother Moon, star nations. Archangel Metatron, who celebrates the heavens. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you, we honor you, and we bless you. And we ask that you bless us. Mother Earth, Archangel Sandalphon, who takes our prayers up to the heavens. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you, we honor you, and we bless you. And we ask that you bless us. Turn to the center, please. Divine One, creator of all that ever has been, is now, and ever shall be. Thank you for making us this Jubilee community here in Asheville in this time, filling our hearts with justice and love and compassion for all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you, we honor you, and we bless you. And we ask that you bless us. And so it is.
We sing.
The Jubilee singers are going to lead us.
Oh, that's right.
We do.
And
We're singing.
so come on, dance down the aisle and bring your money for the hunger basket as we sing Song of the Soul.
Open my eyes, illumine me.
Thank you. Fun song. And we're going to follow up that song with a gift of song.
Thank you. And during the 60s, there was a song that I loved a lot called "We Shall Not Be Moved." It was used in a lot of peace marches and demonstrations. So this is it from Mississippi John Hurt. Little feedback from Jimi Hendrix there. Just like a rock down by the river, like a rock down by the river, just like a rock down by the river, I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved. Just like a rock down by the river, I shall not be moved. Just like a tree growing by the water, oh yeah, like some tree growing by the water, just like a tree growing by the water, I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved. Like a tree growing by the water, I shall not be moved. Now it sings about a guard, a Buckingham Palace guard standing in his place, and a mule walking in his traces. That's everything that's not a mule. Just like some guard standing in his place now, like some mule walking in his traces. Oh Lord, now like a smile on the baby's face, I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved. Just like a smile on the baby's face, I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved. Thank you for singing along.
Thank you, Terry. Can we give it up for him a little bit? Thank you. Now I have to remember where I am on the menu. All right. We get to sing more. So, and we're going to share the Holy Peace at this time. So, oh, wait. I skipped over Maureen. Maureen's going to do the meditation and prayer time for us.
Thank you, John. Good morning. Today's theme, Arising with Justice. And in order to do that, to engage, we have to really be present to the person that we're meeting. I'd like to take you through a meditation. It's actually a practice because it uses body movements and words. And this is called the 4 Ways of Meeting. This is a practice taught to me by Atumo Kane, who was my Sufi teacher for many years. And Atum passed away last fall, so I'm holding him in my heart. So there are 4 movements, which are really the 4 ways of meeting. And I will go through them, then I'll ask you all to go through it with me. Then I'm going to ask you to take a partner and go through the same movements. So the first movement is with hands together in the prayer position. We will look gently at the eyes of our partner, and this is not a stare, but it is a welcoming to the other person to really be themselves. Then we will bow and say, Azim. This is my granddaughter, Annie. All right. So the words are written up here. They're different words, but okay. So let's do that again. We'll say Azim, which means how beautifully does God appear before me in and through you. And that's the way of greeting the divine in the other person. The second movement, we say Yahak, H-A-Q-Q, Hak. This is a movement toward authenticity and a willingness to allow yourself, myself, to be open to the other person. So with our hands together, pointing at our hearts, we will say Yah, and we will pull off the covers that hide us. Then, with our hands still outstretched, we will drop our hands and say Hak, Hak. This is opening ourselves to be authentic and have a truthful meeting with the other person. The third is, again, bringing our hands back to our heart. We open and then we raise our hands and say Fatah. And this is a movement where we are welcoming the divine guest, as Rumi would say. And then we invite our partner to take our hands, and we then go into the fourth movement, which is bowing and saying, Ku. And this is the sound of divine presence in this meditation. Okay, so if you all would stand. We'll go through this once where you can watch me doing, and we'll kind of try to have a flow to it. And then we'll meet with the partner. So first, with hands together in prayer position, we bow and say, Ya Azim. How beautifully does God open before me in and through you. Pointing to our hearts, pulling off the covers that hide us, we say Ya, Hak. We meet in a truthful and authentic place. Hands back to our heart. We open the door of our heart and raise our hands to say Fatah. The divine guest is before you, and we take their hands. Then we bow. Meeting in the present moment, we say Ku. And we create a container for the divine presence. Okay, so turn to a partner, and we'll do this with a partner. Do it again. Okay, if anybody doesn't have a partner, I can be your partner. Okay, so facing your partner, hands together in the prayer position, looking into their eyes, we bow and say, Ya Azim. How beautifully does God open before me in and through you. Hands pointed toward your heart, pulling off the covers that hide us, and dropping our hands saying, Hak. We are in a truthful and authentic place. Hands back to our hearts. We say Ya, opening the door of our heart. And Fatah. We meet the divine guest before us. Offering your partner your hands, we say Ku. Meeting in the present moment, we create a container for the divine presence. And if you'll turn back toward me, lastly, I just want to say that when we can welcome someone in this way, we set the stage for positive dialogue from which we can do the great work of creating justice. May it be so. Thank you.
Could still play hacky sack. All right. Thank you, Maureen. Now we're going to do feedback. Now we're going to sing again, and this time we'll get to share Holy Peace with each other, but only as you're comfortable doing it. So we'll stand as you're able to sing, and then you can do a fist, elbow bump, fist bump, hugs.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With hope in our hearts, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let there begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my song about. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me.
All right. Thank you. If we could all be seated, it's going to be time to welcome DeBorah to the front. And she's going to do a little learning with us and share a reflection on arising with justice.
Okay. Oh, yeah, there we are. Hi, how are you?
All right, welcome.
What a beautiful day. For those of you who don't know me, my name is DeBorah Ogiste Satyagraha. DeBorah was my given name. It was given to me by my grandfather and my mother from the book of Judges. And DeBorah was a prophetess and a warrior woman. Ogiste is my legal name, and Satyagraha is my chosen name, my pen name, and it means reliance on truth. So DeBorah Satyagraha means prophetess, warrior woman who relies on truth. So I'm really glad to be here. And I want to start off with a little reading that I wrote about justice. Today, I stand for peace and love, embracing interchange. Today, I acknowledge that nothing stays the same. Today, I focus on letting justice reign, not through anger, punishment, or pain. Today is the day I step away from judgment and separation. Today is the day that I will stand for compassionate justice in all nations. I am neither right nor wrong. I integrate the good. Namaste will be my cry as I look out into my neighborhood. I am sound in knowing my station, for I see the divinity in all creation. Call and response. This is ancient wisdom and holy word. Thanks be to God, who is wise and holy. All creation is wisdom and holy word. All creation sings of wisdom in God. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So, rising justice. Wow. This is a time to think about what really is justice. A society in which justice has been achieved would be one in which individuals receive what they deserve. Now, that's a question. What is the interpretation of what deserve means draws on a variety of fields and philosophical branches, including ethics, rationality, law, religion, and fairness. You know, when I speak, depending on the subject from different standpoints. I'm either entertaining, motivational, or a teacher. Today, I'm a teacher. So I'm in the teacher mode right now. That's my best mode. So when you came in, they should have given you a blank paper or something to write on, and a pencil, you have something to write with? Okay. So we're just going to kind of sort of put our thinking hats on so that we can get into the visualization of what we're talking about here. So I want you to think about your community or the ideal community in which you live or wish to live. I want you to think about who makes up your community. The landscaper, the janitor, the store clerk, the banker, teacher, librarian, farmer. What makes your household thrive? As I go through my talk today, I want you to have in mind your society and what that means to you on an interpersonal level. Not on a beauty pageant level, I want world peace level. But an interpersonal, day-to-day level of what does my community need to thrive and survive. So when I talk about community, the question is, what do you feel individuals as well as yourself in your community deserve? So I want you to take a deep breath and shake off the morning. Whoo, and go within. And once you have the picture of what your community looks like, who is intricate in your household, thriving and surviving, then I want you to prioritize 4 things that you believe everyone in your community deserve. Because this is your society for now. This is your Egypt. So let's take a few minutes and jot down our thoughts. Your community could include your nanny, your maid, your gardener, the McDonald's worker. What allows the farmer? So as you have your community, your society in mind, I'm going to tell you a little story. My story is about a goddess that goes by the name of Mahat. Mahat is a goddess from the Kemetic African spirituality tradition of Egypt. Mahat is a goddess of truth, justice, order, and balance. Mahat, an extraordinary celestial being whose birth was miraculous and shrouded in cosmic mystery. She did not come from the heavens as other gods and goddesses, nor was she made from clay or other earthly elements. She was the embodiment of the abstract, a celestial being like no other. She appeared with a delicate feather in her hand, the feather of truth. Her existence came when the universe was a swirling stream of chaos, with darkness and complete disorder. It was a realm devoid of structure and meaning. It was a time when darkness and formlessness was the norm. When the universe was in its infancy, its cosmic infancy, it was seeking shape. It was seeking order. At this time, Ra, who is the creator sun god, recognized a profound need for balance and harmony. Mahat emerged as the cosmic answer to this conundrum. She appeared with an ostrich feather on her head and large wings on her back. And she represented the abstract principle, a cosmic force that was infused with the essence of truth and justice. Mahat arrived to ensure that order and balance prevailed in the world. Chaos had met its match. Since her arrival, Mahat shined like a radiant beacon in the heavens. She is the goddess of truth, the goddess of justice, the goddess of balance and order. She was the lighthouse guiding humanity through tumultuous waters. Her purpose was clear and unwavering. It was to uphold the delicate balance between order and disorder, light and darkness. She was the weaver of threads that held the universe together, preventing it from unraveling into an abyss of chaos. Her very essence is truth and justice. Her presence is the reassuring hand that kept the cosmic scales in perfect equilibrium. You were also handed 2 other sheets of paper. So I want you to keep those near because we're going to work with them in a minute. Because Mahat was not just a myth and a legend. She was weaved into Egyptian society. Mahat, as a principle, was formed to meet the complex needs of an emergent Egyptian state that embraced diverse peoples with conflicting interests. Sound familiar? We are a diverse people. We may have conflicting interests. However, we deserve certain attributes of life in harmonious ways. The development of such rules sought to avert chaos, and it became the basis of Egyptian law. The significance of Mahat's development to the point that it embraced all aspects of existence, including the basic equilibrium of the universe. So when we talk about all aspects of the existence, we're talking about the cycles of the seasons, the heavenly movements, religious observation, good faith, honesty, and truthfulness in social interaction. So everything in the Egyptian society was touched by the principles of Mahat. So there are 42 laws or ideals or rules of Mahat. These 42 laws guided and set the tone for Egyptian society. It was what they based their brand of justice on. And her influence went beyond the grave. So when a person made their transition or left their body, it is said that they would go to what is called the Hall of Truth, where the judgment of Osiris would take place. Here in the presence, okay, so I want to give you a picture. So you're walking into this hall. Up in front of you is Mahat, Osiris, and Thoth. Behind you are 42 judges in a semicircular formation. And so when you get there, you have to read the declarations. So in the papers that you have on you it says the original wording of the 42 laws of Ma'at. This is a declaration. So you would go up there and you'll be standing before them and you'll say, oh, I have not committed sin. I have not stolen food. I have not cursed. I have not made anyone cry. I am not deceitful. I have not caused disruption of peace. I have not acted hastily or without thought. I have not spoken angrily or arrogantly. I have not cursed anyone, and so on, and so on, and so on. And you would make these 42 declarations. Now, after you finish making these declarations, what do? They say, okay, is this true? So you're sitting in front of the scale. Your heart is put in one side, and once that's put in the scale, then Mehat lays her feather on the other. If your heart is lighter than the feather, then you go on to paradise, this wonderful place where they live by the cosmic laws of Mehat. They live there and you flourish and it's in balance and you're just living in cosmic balance for eternity. Now, what happens if your heart is heavy and all those declarations were a little off? Then you had to face Amit. Now, Amit was an adorable little creature with a face with a head like a crocodile, a body like a lion, and hind legs like a hippopotamus. Woo! So the heart is heavy with the deeds of a tainted life. And they would take that heart and they would throw it on the ground. And once they throw it on the ground, Amit would devour it. Not pleasant, huh? And once Amit devoured it, it would erase it from the annals of eternity. So those were your two alternatives. As you recited your declaration, did you live by these declarations or did you not? To the Egyptian mind, Mahat bound all things together in an indestructible unity. The universe, the natural world, the state, and the individual were all seen as part of a wider order generated by Me'at. So that everything was oneness. It was all oneness. And it was all tied together, and it worked in a cyclical fashion. So as with everything in the universe, justice is an energetic component. Justice has an energetic component that radiates from the individual to the greater. So we have to take personal responsibility for where we're vibrating if we want to see justice in our community and in our society. It's not an outside job. It's not pointing fingers and saying, oh, they're doing something wrong, I need to go fix that. In your handouts, see, okay, teacher mode. In your handouts, I also put the 42 ideals of Ma'at. So what I want you to do is just kind of gloss over them, see what they are. See how, if they are part of your intricate balance of your life. You know, there's things like, I honor virtue, I benefit with gratitude, I speak with sincerity, I consume only my fair share, I relate in peace, I speak positively of others, I hold purity in high esteems. I mean, how many times have you said, oh, you know, that woman got on my nerves. You know what she did? Now, was that positive? And then you go on, I am kind, I communicate with compassion. See, I can tend not to communicate with compassion sometimes. I'm gonna work on that. Okay, and then we go with, I create harmony. I invoke laughter. I own that. I own that one. I give blessings, I do good, I keep the waters pure, I speak with good intent, I am humble, and I achieve with integrity. It means that I don't try to step on somebody else to get what I am getting, what I deserve, what I know is mine. Because if I have to harm someone else to get it, or if I have to put someone else down to get it, it's not mine to get. So these are the 42 laws, ideas of Mahat. And it's how you live your life. So now that you looked at them, think about your people, your society, your community, and what they deserve. Do they deserve honesty, maybe kindness, respect? And what are the members of your society that can change? Do they deserve everyone to have equal pay, housing? What does your society deserve? What is justice? What do you have to change within yourself to be in compliance with truth, justice, and balance? Ask yourself, based on the 42 ideals of Mahat, how can I hold myself accountable to justice? How can I hold myself accountable to justice? What does the people in my society deserve? What does the people in my society deserve? What do I deserve? What can I change within me that can make a difference? What can I do differently? Creating is an inside job. So as you shift how you show up in the world on an individual level, you raise your vibratory frequency. And if you raise your vibratory frequency, that which you come into contact with vibratory frequency will raise. Why are they vibrating with such shine, with such integrity, with such truth? I need to vibrate there too. So you are calling those around you, your society, your community, to rise up because you've done the work. You're not looking outside to fix something, you're looking inside to be something. So it's going to that place between being and doing. It's time with the shift in the universe right now for us to be. To be in alignment with truth, to be in alignment with spirit, to know who we are and step out on that. And if anything doesn't look the way we want it to look, it is time to go into our prayer closet and say, what do I need to do differently? And if this helps you look at things differently, the laws of Mahat, then use that as a guide. It might not be your guide because there's different guides, but this is one guide that you may use to catapult you on the way of looking within on a daily basis. When I first was introduced to this years ago, what I used to do is every morning I would say, as part of my meditation, the 42 principles. And as I start preparing for this talk and looking at them, and it's been like maybe over 10 years since I've done that, I look at them and I was like, ooh, maybe I need to start doing this again. I've forgotten some stuff, but it keeps you, things like that keep you on track. So I want to thank you for letting me talk to you today. And you have a wonderful week. And if anybody needs some, I have some more.
Thank you, DeBorah. All right. Thank you. probably all need to look at some of the items on that list. But now is our time to share our gifts with Jubilee. The first round of collection was to go out into the community to help our neighbors and friends. This round of gifts is for us to help us keep continuing to share the space with each other. So if we could get those baskets going around. Then I also have, I'm going to do Jubilee in action today. Michele gets the day off from this. So, one of our big announcements this morning is we are now offering an assisted hearing app that lets you listen to Sunday celebrations directly through your smartphone. So directions for using that app are on the back of today's bulletin. Another little announcement, if you want to get involved in something that's not so upfront and in the center of attention, we are legally required to report the songs we perform during Sunday celebrations to a copyright licensing agency. And if anybody's worked in retail or restaurant where you play music, you're familiar with this concept. It is a really simple thing to do. It's basically filling out a spreadsheet. So if you're into the spreadsheet kind of things, this would be a way to get involved. It takes only about 30 minutes a month. And Susie Davis is the person to let know if you're interested in volunteering to do this. But it's a really easy way and an important way to get involved. Jubilee is also still looking for some childcare help for the second and fourth Sundays of each month. This is actually a paid position. So reach out to Michele if you know someone or you're interested in doing childcare one or both of those Sundays. Please consider becoming a member of the Jubilee Board of Directors so that you can help guide our community and into the future here. If you're interested in learning more about this, you can email Jeff Peisner. His email address is on the website. He's not here. Apparently, he's in the Dominican Republic. But I guess he has access to email. You could probably also ask anybody else on the board, but Jeff is kind of the point person for that. Jubilee will be marching in the Mardi Gras parade on Sunday, March 2nd. Woo! I don't have any of the fun ear things. The theme is Animalia. Again, let Susie Davis know if you're interested in planning, creating, or marching. There's all kinds of opportunities to get involved and having fun with other jubilants, whether you march or not. If you like to do arts and crafts, there's that part of it. I also think there's some socializing involved at some point, so you can always show up for that part. And if you can and would, email your news for next Sunday's Jubilee in Action announcements to Michele. Her email address is on the website, and is it on the bulletin? She just needs it by noon on Saturday next week so that it would be in Sunday's bulletin. And then contact information for all of these announcements is on our homepage. There's some announcements on the back of the bulletin. And last but not least, we have coffee hour coming up in the 6th grade classroom, and that's always a fun time. So now, do we have the baskets? All right, let me try this. Yeah. And we do it once for the past. Oh. Once for the present. Once for the future. And once to take it now. Thank you. All right. All right. So, we're up to leading ourselves out. Keep in mind some of the things that DeBorah talked about. Kindness was one of those words I heard a lot, and I think that's an important one. If we treat everybody with kindness, we're well on our way to justice. So let's stand as you're able, and we'll sing our way out.
You're lost and alone, or you're sinking like a stone.